Okay, this is test number 12 study guide from all the way from section 1.1 through 4.6 slope intercept. First question asks you for to find the slope and the y-intercept. Somebody was asking about this one. They thought they had to do something else. No, all you have to do is label the slope and the y-intercept. Remember, your variable for slope is m, and your variable for y-intercept is b. If it's in the form y equals mx plus b, you can see that this one is already in that form. Something multiplying by x. So that means this is going to be your slope right here, 7 over 4, and plus b is like plus a negative 1. Remember, I always catch the sign that is in front of it. But it's not 7 over 4x is your slope. It's just 7 over 4. It's whatever's multiplying by x. And b, your y-intercept is negative 1. Number 2, same thing. Find the slope and the y-intercept, but this one is not in slope-intercept form. So in order for us to find that, we need to move it into slope-intercept form. So we want to get to y equals mx plus b. That means we want to get it in function form. We want to get y all by itself. So move everything that's not y over to the other side. We'll start with 18x. It's positive 18x. In order to undo it, you subtract it. Do the same thing on this side. These will cancel and leave you with 9y equals, we'll put the x variable first to make it mx plus b, negative 18x, and this is a positive 99. That's why it's plus 99. We still don't have y by itself. We got 9 multiplying by y, so in order to undo 9 times y, divide by 9. If you divide that by 9, divide both of these by 9. This will cancel and leave you with just y. Negative 18 divided by positive 9. Anytime you have opposite signs, it's going to be a negative 2x. And then 99 divided by 9 is positive 11. So now we have y equals mx plus b, where your slope is negative 2 and your b is a positive 11. Number 3 says use the slope and y-intercept to graph the equation. This one's nice enough for us. It's already in y equals mx plus b form. So we have our slope and we have our y-intercept. Your y-intercept is the one that tells you where to start. So you need to draw a graph here. Your y-intercept is your going through your y-axis. So this one is your y-axis. So that one has to be at a positive value of 1. I'll put a couple of extra ones just the way we can see them. Just do a few each way. But your y value is positive 1. Y is the one going up and down. It's positive. So from the origin, you go up 1 time for your first point. Your slope, on the other hand, slope is your m value. It's 2 over 3. Slope tells you you go up or down, or you rise over, you go left or right, or you run. So if it's a number that's positive, you need to go up. If it's negative, you go down. For your first number, we have it's positive 2. So from this point, we're going to go up 1, 2. The bottom number tells you to go left or right. If it was negative number, you go to the left. Positive number, you go to the right. We have a positive 3, so it tells us to go to the right 3 times. So from we went up twice, we need to go over once, 2, 3 times, and we put our second point at 3, 3. Once you have both of your points, you connect them with a straight line, and that would be graph. Number 4 says find the x and the y intercepts. In order to find intercepts, you want to plug in 0 in place of the opposite term. So if you're looking for your x-intercept, we'll do that one first. Take your equation, and in place of y, you plug in 0. So 2 times x plus 3 times instead of y, 0, equals negative 18. We still have 2x. 3 times 0 is going to be plus 0. Anything times 0 equals negative 18. If you have plus or minus 0 like this, you can cancel that part of the equation out. So now you have 2x equals negative 18. In order to get x by itself, divide by 2. Same thing on this side. These will cancel. Your x-intercept is negative 9. So that was one part of the problem. That the other part says to find the y-intercept. So do the same thing we just did, except now in place of the opposite one. So the x this time, we're going to plug in 0. So 2 times 0 instead of x plus 3 times y equals negative 18. Anything times 0 is going to be 0 plus 3y equals negative 18. Again, 0 plus or 0 minus anything cancels out. So you're left with 3y equals negative 18, or 3 times y. Undo that by dividing by 3 on both sides. This one will cancel. Y is a negative divided by a positive, negative 6. So your x-intercept is negative 9, and your y-intercept is negative 6. Number 5, you're going to do the same thing. You're looking for your x and your y intercepts, so we'll do those real quick. If your x-intercept, that's what you're looking for, you're plugging in 0 in place of y. So negative 9 times 0 is going to be 0. So what you're going to have is x minus 0 or x equals 54. X minus nothing equals 54. For your y-intercept, that's why intercepts are so easy, because you can go so quickly with them. For your y-intercept, we'll write this one out simply because you don't want to lose that negative. But you plug in 0 in place of the x value. So 0 minus 9y equals 54. Again, 0 plus or minus anything eliminates this, but you can't eliminate the negative 9y. So negative 9y equals 54. Divide by negative 9. And these will cancel. Do the same thing on this side. And 54 divided by negative 9, a positive divided by negative, y equals negative 6. So you have your x-intercept and your y-intercept. Number 3 says to solve 3x plus 3 equals 2x plus 7. Move your x's to the same side. Move your smaller x over to your larger x. That's positive 2x. In order to undo that, you have to subtract 2x. You'd subtract it on the right. You have to subtract it on the left. 3x minus 2x is 1x. Plus 3 equals, these will cancel, 7. Then get rid of, move your constant terms to the other side. You have plus 3. In order to undo that, subtract 3. If you do it on that side, you have to do the same thing on this side. X, and these will cancel, equals 7 minus 3 is 4. Number 7 says 5d plus 2d plus 3d minus 2 equals 4d. Before you undo anything, you need to put all of your like terms together. You have 5d plus 2d plus 3d. We can combine all of those. 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 3 is 10d minus 2 equals 4d. Then you need to put all of your d's on the same side. We can bring that smaller 4 over to the left, the larger 10d. But since we have a negative 2 on the left, I would rather bring everything else to, I'd rather bring the 10d to this side. Again, you can go about doing this either way and it'll still come out to be right. This is a positive 10d. In order to undo it, you subtract 10d. That'll cancel these out and leave you with just negative 2. Don't forget the negative. If you subtract 10d on the left, you have to subtract 10d on the right. A 4d subtract or minus 10d will leave you with negative 6d. Again, we're trying to get d by itself. That says negative 6 times d. Undo that by dividing by negative 6. You divide the right by negative 6. You need to divide the left by negative 6. These will cancel and leave you with just d. A negative divided by negative is a positive 2 over 6. And the number 2 goes into both of those. It goes into the top number once, and it goes into the bottom number 3 times. So your simplified version is 1/3. Some of y'all are still looking at 2 over 6. And you're saying that that means 6 divided by 2. Make sure that you have it correctly, numerator and denominator. Number 8, we're still solving. 15 equals negative d plus 20. Move everything that's not d over to the other side. That says plus 20. Undo that by subtracting 20. You do it on the right. You got to do it on the left. 15 minus 20 is negative 5 equals, we still have negative d here, and these will cancel each other out. Negative d is the same thing as negative 1 times d. So we want to get rid of that negative 1 times it by dividing by negative 1. If you do it on the right side, you do it on the left side. These will cancel and leave you with d. Negative divided by negative is a positive. So d is 5. Number 9 says the unit rate of parts per hour if 1,925 parts are made in 4 hours. Here's your key right here, parts per hour. So set it up as parts, just like miles per hour, parts per hour. That's how you're going to set it up. There's 1,925 parts in 4 hours. Say hours like that if you want to. And when you divide 1,925 by 4, you get this number, 481.25 parts in 1 hour. All we did was divide by 4. But it does tell you to round to the nearest integer. So we'll round 481.25 to the nearest, as we think of it, whole number. It'll be 481 parts. So just drop the 0.25 per hour. Okay, number 10, 6 over 2 equals 3 over x. When you're solving proportions, you just cross multiply. 6 times x is 6x, and 2 times 3 is 6. So you have 6 times x. Get rid of multiply by 6 by dividing by 6. Do it on the left, do it on the right. These will cancel. X equals 6 divided by 6 is 1. And number 11, you need to make sure you do the same thing cross multiplying wise. Multiply w plus 14 times 4. What you need to do is you need to understand that it means 4 times w plus 14. Think of it as the distributive property. Equals the bottom times the top here. Again, 3 times 4w plus 6. You need to make sure it distributes to both of them. 4 times w is 4w, and 4 times 14 is 56. So plus 56 equals 3 times 4w is 12w, and 3 times 6 is positive 18. Move all of your w's over to the same side. The smaller one to the larger one is positive 4w. Subtract 4w. You do it on the left, subtract 4w on the right. These will cancel, leave you at 56. 12w minus 4w is 8w. Okay, so you have 56 equals 8w plus 18. You want to move everything that's not w to the other side, so move this plus 18 over. Undo that by subtracting 18. If you subtract 18 on the right, you need to subtract 18 on the left. 56 minus 18 is 38 equals, we still have 8w over here because these will cancel each other out. Then to get rid of 8 times something or 8 times w, you divide by 8. If you divide by 8 on the right, you got to divide by 8 on the left. These will cancel and leave you with w equals 4.75 for w. That's actually comes out to be a decimal term, number 11. Number 12 says solve the equation. You need to move all your x's to the same side. 6x minus 12 equals 3x minus, plus 4. Move your smaller x's over to your larger x's. That's positive or plus 3x. So in order to undo it, subtract them. If you do it on one side, you have to subtract on the other. 6x minus 3x is 3x. Bring down your minus 2 equals, these will cancel each other out. Bring down your plus 4 or positive 4. Now move everything that's not an x to the other side. You have minus 2, so move it over. In order to undo minus 2, add 2. You add 2 on the left, you got to add 2 on the right. 3x minus 2 plus 2 cancel out, equals 4 plus 2 is 6. That says 3 times x, or multiply something by 3, so divide by 3 to undo it. That'll cancel and leave you with x. And if you divide by 3 on the left, you got to divide by 3 on the right, so x is 2. Number 13 says 2x minus 10 equals negative x plus 5. Move your smaller x over to your larger x's. That says negative x or plus x. Undo that by, I'm sorry, negative x or minus x. Undo it by adding x. If you're going to add x to the right, you have to add x to the left. 2x plus x or plus 1x is 3x. Bring down your minus 10 equals. These will cancel each other out. You still have a positive 5 on the right. Bring everything that's not an x or a variable term over to the other side. You have negative 10 or minus 10 right there. Undo that by adding 10. If you add 10 to the left, you have to add 10 to the right. What you have now on the left is 3x. These will cancel each other out. Equals 5 plus 10, which is 15, or 3 times x. Undo 3 times something by dividing by 3. Do it on the left, do it on the right. This will cancel out, leave you with just x, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. And we'll get to number 14. We'll start at number 14 on video number 2.